Hey everybody, welcome to the Inner Blocks. If this is your first time joining us, thank you, and we are glad that you are here. Today we have a wonderful show called Our Steem. It's hosted by Clicks Money. We are all coming together and we are spreading some great content and some great communities, and we're just building those bridges and letting everybody know what's available and what's here. This is an opportunity for all users to come and see what's happening around the blockchain.
Yeah, that's great. Yes, we want to cross communities and to promote them and to work together this way. And I think it's a good opportunity for all of us to promote our projects and to make just our connection better in Steem blockchain. Let me start by Zeki, and you can already start by representing the community you are involved in and you are excited about. It's Steemit Blogger, I guess, and now they have another name.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm not so much the leader of the organization as one of the drones, but everybody else might know Janie or Zord as the Steemit bloggers or the Powerhouse Creatives leaders within that community on Steem. And I guess the switch from not just Steemit bloggers but to Powerhouse Creatives was really to not just expand upon our blogs and our content on the Steem blockchain, but social media in general. So that we could have a larger presence on the web and I guess at the same time bring a lot more global recognition, not only to Powerhouse to creatives, but more importantly to the Steem blockchain as a whole. So it's 2 o'clock in the morning where Zord is, and so I've been nominated to come and help spread the word a little bit. I don't have 10 minutes to talk about Steemit bloggers or Powerhouse Creatives, but for me, having joined a number of months ago, it was just a collection of, I guess, intermediate to expert content providers on the Steem blockchain. That was all at once an exclusive community because they don't just accept anybody, or we don't just accept anybody, but we are adding different members who are passionate about Steem, have a proven track record of providing great content on the Steem blockchain and beyond, and are dedicated to seeing the advancement of not just our group, but cooperation with other groups like Clicks and the decorporation folks, and all of the other alliances that we've managed to become a part of, and cooperation that we've had with other organizations on the Steem blockchain. So there are a number of I guess you'd say movements or things that we blog about. There, if we look down the list on the private server, there's a good 30 or 40 different categories that seem to be popular, but there's no specific theme that they're looking for as far as content goes. So it really the gloves are off. We support each other, and there's a section where people within Steemit bloggers or Powerhouse Creatives highlight the content of other folks not within the group, and good other great groups to support other individuals that have a neat cause to throw your weight behind, or it's an incredibly informative post, or everything that you'd come to enjoy on the Steem blockchain, to be able to share those with everybody, and then throw our weight behind supporting the good people on the Steem blockchain, whether individually or as groups. I guess the latest shift from Steemit bloggers, it was just an evolution as Steemit becomes more, or Steem becomes more mainstream, to be able to spread the word about Steem across Twitter and Facebook and every other social media platform out there, so that we can Well, we can attract the folks that are putting all of their effort into creating content for free for Zuckerberg and the rest of the folks out there, and to bring the people onto the Steem blockchain so that they can experience the same benefits and the same potential that we've all got as individual creators, and potentially even give them a home on Steem bloggers or Powerhouse creatives to be able to showcase and get some support, basically. So I hope that sums it up effectively. I'm not sure if I've managed to miss anything huge here on my list, but that's basically Steem bloggers or Powerhouse creatives in a nutshell. And Marianne West, who I see on the list as well, could probably add to that as one of our strong members as well.
Yeah, that's great, and I have a good experience with Steem bloggers. I am a member of the Facebook group for all this time, about 2 years or something like that, and I enjoy it. And you are very supportive. And you didn't mention also that you won the delegation of They Call Me Dan, and that was great.
Yeah,
you did a lot of work to win that.
Oh man, yeah, maybe not me personally. I threw my weight behind it a little bit, but yeah, if you saw behind the scenes and the conversations and the rallying, and if that was going on everywhere on the blockchain to win that delegation for the for the accounts that represent the larger organizations, then it wasn't a win for just the Powerhouse creatives. It was a win for the entire blockchain as well, because the energy was unbelievable.
Yeah, of course. Okay, guys, do you have any questions about this awesome community? You can ask them in the chat or by voice.
I wanted to throw in, since you were mentioning the delegation, I think that showed what the community is all about, because everyone was very inclusive, and also the community, like we as a Free Ride House, were also up for the delegation, but we decided to go behind the Steem bloggers because that group is so supportive of everyone that it made sense to bring all our forces together. And I think that's kind of what the Steem bloggers or the Powerhouse creatives are all about, is to bring everyone together and support each other. So that's great.
Yeah. Freedom Point, can you ask the question by voice, because I didn't really understand? Or Zeki, take a look at the chat and answer the question if you can.
Yeah, for sure. Which one
sure.
are we talking about?
Well, what I mean by that is when he was explaining, what they were looking for in those expert level bloggers, when they were talking about that kind of content, is it really when you guys are looking for, people that are a part of the Powerhouse, creatives, or is it more just people that are very committed to it, that stay with it, or are you looking for a certain quality of writing style or a certain post structure, or, how detailed they get?
Yeah, it's not all as formal as that, and I suppose, not being a lifelong blogger like many of the other ones, that my content and format probably would fall well under the level of expert. But yeah, that's more like a tongue-in-cheek. What I noticed was the inclusiveness of the group, but then how each of them were dedicated to blogging regularly and being an active part of the blockchain. There's an application, I was just searching for it right now, that they post every so often to invite other members. But yeah, it's not all as exclusive as that, or I probably wouldn't have been accepted.
Yeah. Is there any other questions? Did you understand the Freedom Point? Did you get your answer? Okay. Do you have anything to add about Steem bloggers, Zeki?
Not really. I'll post. I'm just looking to collect a couple of the links to some more information than I might have covered there, so that people can check it out. But I've just been fortunate enough to join an incredibly strong group of really dedicated Steemians and content providers, and the support that that D Corporation and your group lent to that delegation meant an incredible amount to us. So thanks to Clicks for rallying the troops and throwing a little bit of weight behind us. And we definitely like to return that favor and pay it forward and pay it backwards. So I would encourage people to check out Powerhouse Creatives if they're looking for, I guess, what they call a Steem fam and a group of curators and content providers to join.
Yeah, that's great. You can also add the link or send the link in the chat so people will join your Discord if you have Discord server as well.
Definitely.
Okay, let's move now to Joseph Savage, and we can talk about the great project Steem Basic Income. So Joseph, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Give me just 1 second to close my app store.
Okay. A lot of people are using your service, and I like it.
Thank you. Very nice. Thanks for inviting me. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so probably somewhat familiar with the basic idea is to
Yeah, I think we can't hear you very well.
Underwater. Okay. I actually know what to do about that. Is it better right now, or I still sound underwater?
Still underwater.
All right, let me switch to my phone from my computer and see if that gets better. Be right back.
Maybe while waiting for Joseph, you can tell us, someone here, your experience with Steem Basic Income, because I don't know a lot about it.
I will. I was sponsored into Steem Basic Income like pretty much right when it started by Alex, by Ego Instant, and have used it ever since to use in our promotions and so forth, because it's such a no-brainer. It's a win-win situation. Joseph, are you back?
Yeah, I think so. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now you are much better.
Okay. Apparently my laptop doesn't like my headset.
Okay, you can present your project.
Yeah, so the basic idea is that Steem Basic Income provides basic income that leverages the reward pool and the delegated proof of stake characteristics of the Steem blockchain. The way that it works in practice is that it's a voluntary, crowdfunded, self-funded basic income. So when you enroll, you choose other accounts that you want to support. You can sponsor people for as high a level of support as you want to provide. When you do that, it provides yourself with a base level of support as well. And it's basically, pay it forward, each one reach one, spreading the value and growth. And then it's a lifetime upvote. Based on your subscription level, we track pending R shares balance for you. And then when those accumulate to enough that we can deliver a 1 cent vote or a 1.2 cent vote, we deliver that vote, and then it continues accumulating until the next time that we have enough.
So how people can use your service?
So it's actually really easy. You just send one Steem or a multiple, so like any whole number of Steem to Steem Basic Income with the name of an account that you want to support. And then that would automatically enroll the account sending the transaction and the account that it sponsors to support. And if both accounts or either account are already enrolled, then it will just increase the subscription level of those accounts. And as subscription levels increase, they would get upvotes more frequently until their subscription level is high enough that they're getting upvotes on every post. And then it would increase the size of the upvotes that they receive on each post instead.
So in fact, people just, they have to have more SBI, yes, to get better upvotes.
Yeah, so the more SBI that you have, you can get better upvotes. You can also increase, we have upvoting bonuses, which are a reward for upvoting the Steem Basic Income updates. And there's also bonus units that you can get for delegation. So you can also support it and receive support by delegating to Steem Basic Income and by upvoting the updates.
Great. I saw that you have also a kind for Discord, yes?
Yeah, so we do have a Discord bot. The primary function of our Discord bot is for members to check their current subscription level. So in our Discord, and then there's a couple of other Discords that actually have it. You can do the exclamation SBI and then the name of any Steem account. There's a channel for that in our Discord. And that will tell you how many SBI units that account has and some basic characteristics like a predicted value for their next upvote. And then using SBI-A, you can get a little bit more information like the percentage breakdown of their vote value, like 5% came from their subscription level and 45% came from their delegation bonus units if they have that, and maybe 50% from their upvoting bonus. So that kind of tells you the composition and makes it more feasible to make comparisons between members that have different enrollment levels.
That's great. Do you have any questions, guys, about this project?
Just look over some of the comments. Yeah, thanks, Iki. Thank you, the Yeti. Yeah, so the point that Shadows Pub makes, it's actually not shares of stock. We have to be pretty careful about how we represent the program. It is actually a subscription to upvotes, not shares of stock or like an ownership in the pool. We do have a commitment to maintain like a certain target level of voting power so that that subscription maintains like a certain level of value or consistency. And that's managed through our sustainability metrics. So if we're not hitting our sustainability targets, the rate at which your upvote values grow might slow down a little bit until we can recover and start hitting those metrics, and then it would pick up again, which gives it actually quite a bit of flexibility in terms of responding to market conditions and some of these debates about a potential upcoming EIP. It actually does not require any hard coding changes to our program. It would just adapt, start reflecting differently in our sustainability multiplier, and our upvote values would automatically adjust based on whatever the actual impact of that EIP ends up being.
Yeah, I have this question. Is SBI kind of token or how you like count that data?
So we have our own database off chain, and we basically keep a record of all of the transaction and enrollment history. And then we have a member table that keeps like the current tabulation of what every member's enrollment level is, the total amount of our shares that they've earned from that enrollment level, from any bonus units from delegation, from their upvoting bonuses, the total amount of our shares that we've delivered to every single member, and what their pending balance would be. So it's not currently tokenized. It's basically just an entry in our database. At some point, maybe after SMTs are released or when Scott becomes fully functional, then we can reevaluate whether it's feasible to tokenize that subscription and have those tokens trading on an exchange be what tracks your subscription level instead of currently where it's just an entry in our database.
Yeah, and the last question I have, what are you planning to do in the future?
That's a good question. We have quite a few ideas, but it's not, given the current state of Steem and some of the, let's say, unknowns, we're not prepared to commit a lot of additional resources to development at this time. So for the time being, we are staying the course and keeping things running and making sure that it continues to grow in a steady manner. But all of our future development wish list is currently on hold. And we're looking for either a better crypto environment in which it becomes a little bit more feasible to raise funds for additional features, or for maybe a couple more developers to come on board voluntarily and say, hey, I'm willing to commit like this much time for some bonus units. The lead developer that did all of our automation that got us up and running has primarily moved on to other projects. He's still providing maintenance support. If it goes down and I can't get it back up and running, he responds pretty quickly. But there's not ongoing development of new features happening this time.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, of course.
I have a couple of questions for you, Joseph. They're probably stuff you've already mentioned before. I do know from personal experience, I had another account, Jan23Com, and I transferred from that account the SBI over to the Hive. So I do know you allow the transfer from one unit to another unit that's using the Steem chain. There was talk before, I'm not too sure of when, I think you were at a meeting and you mentioned something about the SBI becoming SMT. If you do develop that, what does actually that entail? Of the SBI being or the SBI being an SMT. I have a quick second question as well. I asked you before about something and you gave me a good reply, and this is along the same lines. Where you get investment every time somebody buys an SBI, you kind of like have to find some more Steem to support that vote. I'm going to assume that there's a reward for other people that give the delegation, and
Yes.
that would come from, hopefully, from the votes that the people subscribe to. Is there a growth to the actual SBI account as well while you're giving out that reward for the delegation?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So let me cover the first question first, because the answer to that is we don't really know yet. The SMTs, or whether we would go with Scott token, there's a lot of unknowns around what that is actually going to look like when it's finally released. I've read the white paper and I have some thoughts around how SBI token would behave, but at present, there are too many unknowns in terms of what that actual development looks like, what features will be available, staking, unstaking. Right now, Scott doesn't even support delegation of staked Scott tokens. Whether or not the SMTs will is a little bit more open question. And so we don't have any specific details on what an SBI token would look like in terms of tokenization and fungibility at a later point in time. Right now, it's just a database entry. And so it's easy for us to say, oh, yeah, well, we can move these 25 units from this person's row in the database to this other person's row in the database, basically. I mean, we do actually process it as a transaction row, and then it tabulates itself so that we have an audit trail of any changes that happen in terms of who has what units. But we don't know the details for future tokenization. With regards to your second question about the growing stake, we do have to lease delegation to meet our target upvote levels. And that's actually intentional as part of the design of the system. And we primarily do our delegation to reach our target levels through dlease.io. At present, we have almost 400,000 Steem power that we have leased through dlease.io and a little bit through some direct leases. We are willing to do direct leases as long as it's for enough to make it worth our while. So like not 5 or 10. I mean, anyone can directly lease to the main account and get upvotes for that. But some people, if they want to direct lease significant amounts and receive liquid payments, but bypass dlease.io and not have to pay their 10% fee, we are willing to do some of those if it's a substantial enough amount, like 2,600 SP or higher. But our primary external or non-member delegation source is dlease.io's leasing market. And we're currently consuming about 15% of the total SP that is leased through their marketplace. Then in terms of account growth, we have so far accrued about 64,000 SP organic growth in the accounts. The bulk of that is from curation rewards and author rewards on our regular updates. And then depending on where our numbers are looking and how much we need to lease, we also do regular power-ups, depending on what the Steem flows are that come in and SPD and so forth.
Well, congratulations on the account growth. I like that number.
Yeah, thank you. It's about 12% of our total like votable SP is native SP. So SP that belongs to the Steem Basic Income accounts. And then 14.47%, I have the spreadsheet right in front of me. So about 14.5% of our total SP is from member delegation. And the remaining 74% is leased either directly through dlease.io or a couple of them peer-to-peer, some relationships that we have established where they delegate like 5,000 SP and we pay them directly instead of doing it through dlease.io.
Yeah, that's really great business, because there are, for example, the apps that are getting, for example, good delegation, and they usually only power down, so they don't use any part of their earning to power up, and that's great that you are like finding a part, making a part to power up. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, part of the intent is for it to become a basic income, not just like a basic level of support for Steem posts, but in the long run to eventually become like a little bit more significant in the real world. And for that to happen, there have to be value sinks. There has to be SP that's committed and locked up and never powered down, so that the people that are, taking that income off of our program and liquidating to pay whatever their lifestyle, whatever they're doing with it, that there's a place for that to go. And demand for Steem power And so it's really designed so that we are actually part of the demand for Steem Power, that the program steadily grows, the SP base steadily grows. Ideally, I'd like to see the native SP be a little bit higher than 12%, but it's held steady between 10 and 15% for ages. And so it'll probably continue to be between 10 and 15% of the total SP will be our native SP.
Yeah. That's really great. Thank you for presenting your project. That was really nice. And thank you for replying to the questions.
Yeah, thank you for giving me your time.
Okay, let's move to Free Write House with Marianne West. Are you here?
I'm here. Yeah.
So can you represent us and talk about your project?
Sure. I'm very happy to. So the Free Write House is a community account which grew out of the Free Write Initiative, which is now in its, I think it's, today is day 586, something like that, of a daily prompt where people are just asked to write for 5 minutes whatever comes to their mind. And the idea behind the Free Write is to empower people to just let go of judgment and to just write. And the more we write, the better we get, right? So the permission is to not have to be good if you don't want to. But what has happened is that most people will do the 5 minutes and then, edit their work, and some write for much longer, and have quite a few writers which have actually, through the Free Write, gotten to publish book and overcome writer's block and all kinds of stuff like that. So in the beginning, I made it a point to visit everyone, and then everybody started to do the same, and a little community came out of it. And so we wanted to move it away just from my account to an account where we can, do more. So that's when we founded the Free Write House, and there were several people involved, and some are still active and some are not. And others have come in and taken up the slack. So the Free Write House is basically an account dedicated to supporting free writers and others as well. And we do all kinds of contests. And since we just heard about SBI, from the very beginning, we were giving out SBI. So actually, when we started the account, we had 2 weeks of giveaways and, just trying to grow our account. But like Joseph, we are powering up the SP we get through the rewards, but also liquid rewards we're using to give out as prizes, and those are usually paid out in SBI. So we have things like the rewrite, where somebody starts a story and then somebody else finishes the story. We have a cooperation with One Love YouTube, where we encourage people to do author readings. So that can be a free write, or it can be another story they wrote they really like. And so they're recording that and then posting it to DTube and to the Free Write House. And actually, Joseph is supporting that initiative by the Sneaky Ninja. Not Sneaky Ninja. Joseph, what is it called? I'm so terrible. It used to be Sneaky Ninja. It's called something else now. Daily Sneak. Thank you. It's a Daily Sneak. Man, names. I just can't get it together with those. So anyways, so people are exploring other medias. And again, we had so many people which were saying, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't talk, blah, blah, blah. And now they're like producing videos all the time. And it's really great to see that kind of thing happen. Another thing we do is encourage community building by an initiative we call Recommend Your Favorite Free Write, where you have to use at least 50 words to tell us some about a free write of somebody else. You cannot recommend your own. And then we have drawings for SBI and for upvotes. Let's see, what else do? We do a bunch of stuff. So another one we are going to start is a storytelling contest, or I don't know if we want to say contest, more of a storytelling corner to come together. And we want to encourage parents and children to record stories together and just go back and forth. So that's one coming. One of our big initiatives is called the Literary Arts Reward, and that's open to anyone. And you can enter even things which have been already expired. They can be up to 1 month old. And we have 30 Steem up for that. Well, we have it in English, in German, and in Spanish. And so each language group has 10 SBI as the main, and then second prize and third prizes. So a lot of things like that. So really the whole thing is to have fun together. That's really important. And to encourage people to write and express themselves in a creative way. Sounds good? Questions?
Yeah, that's really great. You seem to have are having a lot of fun there.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is to have fun, to be encouraging, to build community. I think building community is really the biggest part. And yeah, and also, so it's a Spanish initiative. We want to encourage helping people in Venezuela, especially, or in other places, but the Spanish leader is in Venezuela, and a lot of the Spanish free writers are. And some of them having a hard time to even get online, but it's really encouraging to see the international communities coming together too.
Yeah, I have such question. So, how do you find the new writers? Do you have like a special team that are looking for new writers for you or something like that?
No, I'm not looking for them. They're coming to us. So I think because of the daily prompts, that has been going on for such a long time. And a lot of the people which have come to and written with us are resteaming the prompts, so people find out about that. I'm really bad at joining a lot of Discords and stuff, so I'm not as good as I could be with promoting and so forth. So, but I'm always hoping that somebody else will do. It's really, we put it out there, and if people want to join us, we're very happy. And well, so I guess we are promoting some by having a Twitter account and doing, we're joined the 777 initiative with Nathan Mars. And so that has brought some support to it too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great too. So you may need some delegations or something. What kind of support, do you need?
Oh, well, the best support is to come and write with us and participate in the initiatives. That's what we love the most. We actually, it's still ongoing. We haven't promoted it so much, mostly because I got a little burnt out with a lot of the things I was doing. But Improv offered to delegate one Steem for each SBI people would buy for the Free Write House. And then we sweetened that first. Richard from the Accelerator was donating another SBI for the first 10. And then I personally sponsor people into more in the Free Write House. So basically, the drive, which is still going on until the end of the month, is if people buy 20 SBI for the Free Write House, they end up with 23 in their pockets or in their account, or however you want to call it. So that's huge. And we have delegations from a lot of the free writers. And of course, the more delegation we have, the better upvotes we can give out. And that is something which makes me very happy, because a lot of people start out with us which are brand new to Steem, and they're very small accounts. So, if I can give them, 10 cent or what, upvote, that's huge. And that's, it's very encouraging, I think, to people which are putting time into their posts and end up with no rewards. And yeah, so big shout out to, everyone who has delegated to us. Feldbus is a huge supporter. And so that's kind of what we're looking for. Oh, Engine is a huge supporter too, and he's here now. And Nathan Morris has given my personal account a huge delegation, which really made it possible for me to give every free rider a vote every day, because my vote wasn't that big to begin with. So join us, do something, read a story, tell a story, write one.
That's great. You seems very positive community.
Oh, that's definitely the tone we want to have, is to be positive, and we don't fight, or we don't tolerate people putting down somebody else. That kind of stuff is like not happening. Anyways, oh cool, Joseph just put, we gained 687 SPI from the support campaign so far, so that's very cool.
So guys, do you have any questions about Free Ride House? If there is no questions, so thank you very much, Marian.
Welcome.
We'll move now to Steem Savvy. So maybe the Technology Trail can present. This community is also an awesome community.
Well, I'm just a lowly user. I see a couple other people here from the community. Eric or Zoltan, do either of you want to chat about what it's all about?
Yeah, but you have some ideas about the community. If they can talk, maybe you can tell us.
Okay, well, Steem Savvy is a community. It's started by John G. Olson and Richard Taylor. They have a website where it gives learning resources to new Steemians. They have a bunch of videos. You work your way through the videos, and they give you little badges and whatnot. I have to admit, I'm probably less than halfway through doing the online stuff, but as a community, there's a lot of us that get quite involved. They have a Discord channel. In Discord, we're all very engaging with each other. They have a Sunday night podcast. Steem Savvy was the first our Steem group to partner, I believe, with De-cooperation. Is it cooperation? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's right. De-cooperation.
So to have this our Steem, where we try and get different communities that have different groups of people to come together and basically engage and enable each other to grow. I was definitely a plankton when I started here a couple months ago, and just through my engagement with other people in the Steem Savvy, there we go, run over my tongue. I'm not much of a talker for public stuff like this, but you'll have to forgive me. I've managed to work my way up to my first 100 SP. Someone had a comment. Oh, John also has regular posts. He has one called The Road to 300 SP, where he encourages people to do different things to engage in the community. And in one of the comment trains there, I said to someone, I will, my goal is to get to 100 SP this year. And 3 weeks later, I'd hit 100 SP without purchasing any Steem. Then for my birthday at the end of April, I decided to give myself a nice gift, and I bought 400 SPs. So now I'm actually a minnow. Now I can say, hey, I'm going somewhere, and the engagement has been wonderful. To me, the community and the engagement has been awesome. I mean, that's primarily why I'm there regularly. I enjoy these hour Steams when I can join up with them. It's amazing to see the people from all over the place. I mean, the Yeti and Stacy D, I've followed their channels for quite some time and their travels. I mean, my technology trail is started years ago as a blog, but I'm not a great writer. Need to work on that. And I named it My Technology Trail for my trail down the road to playing with my technology. I do IT work for a living, but I enjoy computers on the side, and this Steam and then Steem Savvy on top of that is enabling me to engage with more people and bringing me out of my shell a little bit. Hasn't got me posting more per se, but hey, it's a journey.
Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, by the way, you can join free house writers to improve your writing.
Well, I followed their channel, so we'll give it a watch.
Yeah, and tell me please about the difference between, because you said like you are a minnow, you was a plankton, because there is a system in Steem blockchain. We have like a minnow, a fishy, and etc. But in Steem Savvy you have another system, so it's not related.
I'm not sure. I mean, they do have their own token, and John regularly gives out Steem Savvy, or he gives out Savvy when we occasionally engage on the Sunday video. He definitely gives out a lot of SPI by engaging with posts that he makes. I'm not terribly familiar with levels, other than you get badges as you complete different levels of the learning. So let me see if I can figure out where they hide the badges. No, I don't see it. I'm on the...
Yeah, maybe PH or Eric can explain that. I mean, the system that you have in Steem Savvy, because it's really interesting in Discord that you have. Even me being like almost a dolphin, I was a plankton in Steem Savvy, so they have a system where you have to engage in the Discord itself to grow.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the Discord rankings.
Yeah, I talked about
Oh, okay. Yeah, they basically have a bot that watches people's engagement, and then as you engage, you gain ranks, and then after a certain amount of ranks, you gain different ranks. So yeah, I mean, their plankton is nothing like a plankton on Steem, but we'd have to ask Richard how he came up with the names. I mean, one of our members is Jen, who's called Pixie Post, and she engages a humongous amount, and so when she got up to being the third highest, he actually created her own category called the I'd have to go look it up, but it's the Pixie group or something like this, just for her, because she was doing such an awesome job. But you're right, there are levels from engagement, and yeah, it helps reward us a little bit. If you get to a certain level, John will give you a number of SPI. So I recently moved up from Plankton to whatever the next one was, and he gave me 2 SPI or 3 SPI for making that jump. I mean, he's all about rewards for engagement. And I think, as I heard Marianne talk about giving out SPI for engagement in the free write community, John is really big on SBI for the community. And I think SBI is the perfect tool for that. I mean, I give you an SBI and I get one for myself. So, you know, they say win-win. I'm over 100 SBI, and I've probably only been able to buy in other people 3 or 4 SBI. Most of that is from engagement with other people who've been happy to reward me, but it also rewards themselves. You know, if John is giving out 777 SBI, I assume he's got a nice pool. He now gets 40 cents on posts. I mean, it's all a nice circle.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have any questions about Steem Savvy, guys? I think it's really great because you have a website and it guides newcomers. It's really great, and the system that you have in Discord also, I like it. Not like in most Discord servers where you can join and start right away post in the promotion posts. So it looks like really like spamming, but you just like verifying people or making them get some rank in the community, and only after that they can post in your promotion channel, and that's great. You can also post this Discord server link in the chat so people will join.
I believe PH1102 posted a little earlier. I noticed it scroll by on the inner voice text.
Yeah. So thank you very much for presenting Steem Savvy.
Well, thank you. I just showed up to enjoy the good conversation. Didn't expect to become a presenter, but I tried.
Yeah, you did great. I think everybody sees it. And you have like received good comments from people. They are saying that you are doing really, really nice. So, okay, let's move to Priyanark. Can you, are you here? Are you with us? We can talk about One Love DTube. It's also a community.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Clicks Money, for hosting the show. I am here to represent One Love DTube. I am one of the curator there. So One Love DTube is basically based on DTube community. Its creator is Duke13, and he came up with the idea of One Love DTube basically. The main ideas are like support network, not only curation based, but we aim to support a wide variety of creative content on DTube. We have also curation team working for the sake of helping others gain recognition for the works. And we have also IPFS and uploader service supporting creators and the platform by hosting videos, making them forever playable, while also streamlining the uploading process with our uploader. So it's basically we try to help all DTubers by giving them upvotes, curate their posts, plus we have also uploader service. So I'm giving you some links so that you can understand more. Let me give you the links, please. Here you can get the uploader because if in DTube we know that after 3-4 months you can find your own videos. But if you use the uploader of One Love DTube, then your videos won't get deleted ever.
Yeah, so it's a tool to make those videos always playable on DTube.
Yes, of course. And I also gave you the link of surveys where you can see how much you have to pay or something like that, which package you want to buy for as a starter pack or something. And here is also a link to know more about One Love DTube.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, guys, do you have any questions about One Love D2? So it's mostly.
I have one.
Okay, ask.
So Rhoda from Catalonia here, also the inner blocks and stuff. What is the starter package? What does it include?
Starter package, mostly like you can 1 month subscription where you can upload your videos, and also you can get upvotes from One Love DTube every time, and also like up
So
to
that's
30.
guaranteed if I purchase this.
Yeah, yeah. And
good.
let me tell you, up to 30 GB of data storage on up to separate nodes, access to the One Love IPS uploader, yeah. And 24/7 live support through Discord, email, and Messenger, everything you will get.
Yeah, I see that One Love DTube is mostly for people who make videos.
Yeah, obviously. DTube videos. We curate every type of DTube videos, and we support every manually, and we support all kinds of DTubers, because sometimes like DTube means giving votes, but we also try to support them, every content creator.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, thank you very much, Bernard, for presenting One Love DTube.
Thank you, Clicks Money.
Okay, let's move to Blind Spot, and he wants to talk about BD community. It's a community on Steem blockchain also for a long time here, like from more than 1 year, and it's a community from Bangladesh. We have a lot of people from Bangladesh, and Priyanak, by the way, she's from Bangladesh, and I think Blind Spot as well. So hello, Blind Spot.
Hey, Clicks Money. Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me on the show. This was a very spontaneous decision. I did not come into the show thinking I would be promoting BD community, but sure, let's go with it. This might be my free ride point. Okay, well, let's go ahead with this. Thank you, Clicks Money, for sharing the Steam It link. So yes, here is the Discord link, never-ending link. You can join whenever you like. So BD community, the BD stands for Bangladesh, as Clicks already informed you. Now, a quick look into Bangladesh. Now, Bangladesh is a very tiny country in the subcontinent and surrounded 3 parts by India and 1 part by the Bay of Bengal. Now, the cool thing about Bangladesh is that it is the most populated country in the world per square meter. Per square meter, it is the most populated country in the world. And with such a high population and such development in society, technology, and so on, Steem blockchain has become one of the places that a lot of Bangladeshis are looking forward to. And in the recent days, we have seen a huge increase in the number of users, Bangladeshi users, in the Steem blockchain. Now, BD community was born a little ago. And the whole focus was that, all right, we have a lot of Bangladeshi users coming in. A lot of them will not know anything about the Steem blockchain, nor know how to be a proper functioning part of the Steem blockchain. And at first, at the beginning, this was our focus. We focused on the Bangladeshi users, the new ones, and trying to give them a platform that feels very close to home. Because, you know, it can be very, very overwhelming for somebody from a small country who is not very let's say, exposed to the outside world, to a world where English becomes the first language, or Bangla is not their language anymore. So first and foremost, we had the plan to make everybody feel at home and tell them, get them to know about Steem blockchain, to teach them about the Steem blockchain, to tell them what they can expect and what they could do, how they could do, and where they could do what to, to reach their goals. At first, that was the whole idea, but then just like everything else in the world, BD community started evolving. At this very moment, BD community has expanded and has branched out to many fields. Before that, let me give a huge shout out to the official members of BD community who have official roles. The founder is Riazul Iqbal, who, by the way, is a phenomenal, let's say, coder. He is just really amazing. He really knows the tricks when it comes to coding, and he's constantly making bots and so on and this and that. Really creative guy. The second is Zaku, who is the first dolphin from the Bangladesh community, and not only that, he has been here since the early days, the starting days of the Steem blockchain. So he knows a lot of the ins and outs of the Steem blockchain. He understands them, and he really gives us that strength and that backup. We can look back at Riazul Iqbal or Jaco and ask them, we ourselves who are relatively newer than Jaco or Riazul Iqbal, we can look at them and ask them for opinions, ask them for advices, and so on. And then we have the curators. Priyanark is a curator over there, Aisha is a curator over there, and then we have M. Hossein and Hasnat, and then we have Blindspot. I don't know what Blindspot is doing over there, but he is over there. Anyways, let's get back to BD community. So, like I said, BD community has branched out to a lot of places. Now, as I was talking about Riazul Iqbal, he has developed a bot and has made sure that BD community also follows Steem Flag Rewards, which debatedly plays a very, very important role on our Steem blockchain to make sure that things go a bit in order. That is one very proud moment for Bangladeshis and the BD community. Not only that, we also have expanded to the foreign communities. For example, we have a lot of new people coming in, and there are a lot of communities on the Steem blockchain that can help the newbies. For example, right from the tip of my tongue, I can say there is Steem Terminal, there's Welcome Wagon, and so on. There are so many really amazing communities. So we usually try to figure out the person first. We try to understand what they're looking for, what they have come here to do, and then we try to, tell them that, hey, there are a lot of communities. The best for you to do anything on the Steem blockchain and become a prominent functioning part of the Steem blockchain is to go out there and communicate, learn, and be part of the Steem blockchain by joining different communities and learning every day. So that is another place we really, really focus on. Another great part BD community focuses on is curation. Now, the curation is completely manual, and it is point-based. Priyanark, of course, does an amazing job at that. If you follow the steemit.com/@BD community link that ClicksMoney provided, you will see that there is a weekly announcement of the curations that were done. BD community curators pick of the week, and we try to, encourage the users, foreign or Bangladeshis, it does not matter. We try to encourage them to be a better poster, to make a better quality content, to be better, feel better, and become bigger. We want everybody to succeed. We want everybody to have the nicest time possible. Not only that, Riazul Iqbal was really clever when he made an amazing Steem Monsters bot. So basically, a lot of places you can buy Steem Monster cards from. Of course, there is steemmonsters.com itself, and then there is Peak Monsters. Then there is the Steem Monster shop in the BD community, which allows you to buy cards just for 2% transaction fees, whereas everywhere else it is 5%, and it is really quick. We also have another, let's say it's another feature, not a feature, well, it is BD Voter. I don't know how to name it, sorry. So BD Voter is basically a voting service. You can buy votes from there. You can use it to promote someone else's vote. You can use it to promote your own vote posts. You can also use it to gift someone a vote, which is really nice. Plus, at this moment, BD Voter is really giving a very, very positive, very, very good ROI on your purchases. So yeah, BD community is all over the place. At the moment, we are trying to integrate in some way a voice or a radio show, a Discord show for the community members. And that is because you become really close with the people once you're on voice. But really, that's on me, because I have delayed it so much, because I really do not want to give the people an unfinished product. I want to plan it out. I want to make it as perfect as possible and then launch it. So yeah, the voice show will take some time. I'm working as hard as possible to make sure that the people really enjoy their time while they're at it. Not only that, let's see, we are missing something else. There's so much going on BD community. On the surface level, it looks a very calm and quiet, easygoing. I don't know. It looks so subtle and so calm, but once you get into it, you see there's so much going on, and just 5 or 6 people handling all of it, making sure that the Bangladeshis really get the best service, as well as the foreigners. We are not trying to limit ourselves on the Steem blockchain. We want to connect with other communities. We want to connect with people from all over the world. So yeah, that is, I think, a very short, long description about BD community, but I think you get the idea.
Yeah, that's really great. So guys, if you have any questions, you can ask. And thank you very much for presenting community. I like the fact that there are people from all around the world like promoting Steem. I know that people from Asia, for example, they do like a lot of meetings, they do, and they promote Steem blockchain that way. And there are a lot of people from Asia, from Asian countries, from India, from Bangladesh. That's great. Okay, so
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Blind Spot, by the way. Okay, let's move to Roger Remix. Are you here?
Yes, here.
Can you talk a bit about DTube forum and what is it?
Yes, I can do so. So the DTube forum was initially launched by a guy called Hauptmann, also living here in Barcelona, is a German guy, same as me. And he had the idea just to get some people together, basically from the community, not so focused on the development aspect or not so focused on the investor side, but really make like a community meeting. That's where it started off. And then he reached out to some other people. He's a very active DTuber, posting daily mostly. And so he got in touch with Tipx, Norman, also from Germany, and some other people like Nathan Mars. He's very active in supporting us with Steem Power delegations in some kind of, let's say, community building or publicity, marketing promotions, this kind of stuff. And we also have Ivan SNZ on board. He made the homepage and connected it to SteemPress. So whoever is on board from the DTube organizational team, which is also Artakush from the D-Daily. I don't know if he's here. He wanted to be here, I think. I think he's not here. So Artakush is also part of it from D-Daily, same as Tipfox. Who else? Sergio Mendes is on board promoting it. And yeah, some others. I mean, you can check out the homepage. I can just drop the link very soon. And after having this idea and connecting with Tipfox had the idea to make it a bit bigger, to create a foundation campaign, reach out to the people, and maybe even really get some developers on board. So we had DTube Hyman Danger, the main developer. He was talking about the new DTube was there. And he was also talking about the new blockchain. And so more and more got more devs on board. Actually, we got more funding, and that's how it grew. And so in the end, yeah, I also joined. I helped out with the prints and get everything done on time, and help them a bit with getting everything on the venue done. And yeah, in the end, we had this forum. When was it? 1.5 weeks ago, like 3 days. A very nice meetup. So some dApps were presented, like ActiveIt, dSound, Clean Planet. We also had a live stream on Vim TV and some others, but in the end it didn't work so well. So long story short, I kind of try. We want to gain all this information, all this great ideas what we had, and try to really build things now. That's why I also try to get more active how we can onboard new people from outside, really going out in the real world, maybe making some promotional campaigns, and yeah, hopefully spread the word, not only about DTube, but using DTube as a platform.
I think, Roger, you disappeared.
Oh, sorry, that might be my connection.
Okay, you said not using only DTube but as a platform, but other platforms as well?
Yes, but also other dApps, because since we had some funding and since we had, let's say, some publicity, it was good to fill the room. And as Steem is now growing more and more in direction with the smart media tokens, and for example, the inner blocks also have their own dApp and so on, we thought would be good to actually host and moderate it more like a show and a meetup, and invite some other dApps or also communities to speak. So, for example, D-Daily also had a presentation, or blockchain-based business called K64, pretty new. I can just drop you the links step by step here.
Yeah. I was talking today with Hopman. So you will have the DTube forum just like Steem Fest once a year, yes?
Yes, exactly. That's planned. So we want to move. Barcelona was just the start because it was like practical. He was living here. I was also living here, although I joined late. But the idea is to move it all over the globe. So next venue, we're going to clarify like where's the place, but maybe most likely in Europe, I would say. But once a year, yes.
Yeah, but not in Spain this time.
Most likely not. Would be nice to have another country.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we're always open for suggestions, but as far as I understood Hauptmann, they already have like a pick. But if you have a good surrounding, if you have a network, then we're always open for
welcome to Russia. I hope to see you in Russia.
Oh yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Roger Remix. I think already all our guests present their community. Thank you very much. And we can talk a bit also about the Einer Blocks itself that is hosting this amazing show and welcoming so many community leaders here. So, Freedom Point, can you tell us some words about the Einer Blocks? What is it, and what you are planning to do in the future?
Hey, absolutely. First, I would like to say what an amazing show it really turned out. There was a lot of people here, a lot of great communities, and a lot of wonderful ideas. And I would like to talk a little bit about the Einer Blocks and what we're doing. I mean, first off, everyone came to the Discord here, but we are about the person and the whole person, supporting the whole person. And so not just are we, like, here, hold on a second, I'm actually copying and pasting, and apparently I can't do both at the same time. Maybe, I don't know if that'll work. Okay. But anyway, the Einer Blocks, the idea is to support the whole person behind the content. And so what we're really looking for is that firsthand experiential content. And the idea came from our love for homesteading, our love for self-reliance, our love for being responsible for ourselves, and the fact that we believe, Stacey D and I believe, that we as individuals should be responsible for our own wellness, our own physical, mental, spiritual wellness, that we should be living consciously, that we should be living firsthand content. And so we wanted to reach out and we wanted to create a space for that, because we love Steem it, right? We've been on Steem blockchain since 2017, and we noticed that there is a lot of content out there. So how can we create an environment that would focus on that niche, let's call it niche content, that firsthand content that where people are showing the many blocks that make up what they are. You know what I mean? The different personality traits. You know, some people start posting all about one thing because it seems to get the most attention. So how do we support them posting about all the different parts of their personality? So with that, you know, the Inner Blocks was born, and, you know, so it started with a Discord, and it started with reaching out, and it's growing every day. It's growing, and we have a wonderful DApp that is up and going, fully functional, and you know, our developer has many upgrades. And we tell everybody this, that he is currently deployed for the Canadian military, and when he comes back, there are big things coming. And right now, we're just working out all of the bugs, and we've had a lot more traction, a lot of people coming and using the DApp, and you know, we're expecting some big things. We're part of it is, I was asked the question, is it a community or is it an umbrella over communities? And the Inner Blocks is yes to both of those. The idea would be to be a place where people can come and share that firsthand content. So, you know, that it's not just getting buried in Bitcoin talk or the news, but it would be something that they've done in their day. Not that someone's posting a recipe, but someone's posting how the recipe turned out when they tried it. You know what I mean? So they're posting about, you know, their yoga practice, their meditation. They're posting about the music that they've written. You know, they're posting about their garden. Anything that's that firsthand experience is really what we wanted to support, and then that way we can lift those people up. So we want to support and be a community that people can come together. Just like this seems to be the common story with all communities, is that people wanted to be with other people, to involve other people, to be surrounded by other people and other creators. And that's really where it started. And then as far as the other communities go, we love the idea of growing and bridging between communities and actually including them in our progress as we continue to grow. So there's been several communities that we've reached out to so far to offer a potential tag or category on the DApp, which would actually give them what we think would be more eyes on their content, more eyes on their community, which would help to support the communities and then support the people. Not that we would ever want to, it's already been done or all the amazing hard work, but how can we lift it up more? How can we host that amazing content? And then how can we ultimately help the most people?
Yeah, that's great. I have this question about Inner Blocks. So there are a lot of websites where we can, for example, log in and post, like, I don't know, Steem Peak and others. So what is the difference between those websites and the Inner Blocks?
I think the main difference is going to be that it's more of maybe a niche category. So you have all the other front ends that would focus as a broad front end that would function just like a variation of Steemit. So Steemit has categories, but it seems to be an endless number of tags, an endless number of categories. And what we're trying to do is funnel like-minded content into one place. So you can come there. Right now, you can use Steem Connect to connect through. Keychains is coming, and then we're looking into other options like Steem Ninja and other onboarding options as well. And the big difference is going to be that instead of just having a whole slew of different topics on there or tags on there, that it would be just those niche tags, so that when someone comes from the outside, say they're coming from Facebook or another site that they really like, and they come to the Inner Blocks, they're going to see the content that they came to see. Not that they're going to see a bunch of random content and then sort through and try to find what they're looking for. But if we can bring them to the Inner Blocks, they're going to find all of that content in one place.
Yeah, that's really great. So guys, do you have any questions about the Inner Blocks? And by the way, what's the meaning of the Inner Blocks? It's interesting where the name come from.
Well, the Inner Blocks is, the idea was Okay, so what we tell people is that we're all made up of many different things, different hobbies, different interests. So whether you maybe you like to do yoga, but you also like to listen to heavy metal music. They seem to be contrasting ideas, but those two things make you who you are. And so you can imagine how many different blocks that we have that make us who we are. So the inner blocks is about building ourselves up one block at a time, really expressing the things that make us us, no matter what it is. They're just aspects of our personality. So building ourselves one block at a time.
That's great. Okay, thank you very much, Freedom Point, for hosting this show and for explaining everything about the inner blocks. I hope your community will grow and do very well in Steem blockchain. Okay, let's move to Shadow's Pub, and she is also involved in our Steem show, this amazing show that is connecting a lot of communities and a lot of creative people to tell us about the Rumble, and that was very helpful to host our show, our Steem show before in the Rumble, and a lot of people now know about it.
Thank you. I joined the blockchain 3 years ago in August, and in September of 2017 I opened the Discord, which was then called the Steem at Ramble. And the reason I did that was I was doing manual curation on the platform using a post called the Steem at Ramble, in which I shared various posts that I liked. So I opened the Discord in order to allow people to drop links into the Discord and recommend them for the Steem at Ramble. And over time, I noticed that we could use voice chat. And I then started a show in October of 2017 called Pimp Your Posts Thursday, which is a live curation show. People come in, they present their own post or they present somebody else's post. And the idea is that we talk about it, we get to know each other, we network, and maybe some people who hadn't got noticed much were getting noticed a little bit more. So over time, we started adding some more shows to it, one of which was a monthly witness chat, which all the witnesses are invited to. I know there's one on another network that only the top 20 get invited to. This particular one, all of them are invited. We've been very fortunate lately that we've had some representatives from Steem It Inc. join the chats. Excuse me. And that gives us an opportunity to learn a little bit more about what's going on the chain. So then I formed what is called Rambling Radio, and we started streaming the shows out. So we've got a show on Tuesday that's Curation Corner, which actually has evolved into a show where we interview project or community leaders and get an idea of what they're doing. There's the Pimp Your Post Thursday, which runs twice on Thursdays. And then on Friday, there is an Active Fit show, which is currently on hiatus. Sorry. And there's Words with Witty that Ingenuity hosts, who's one of the witnesses. He talks about things that are going on the platform. So the whole idea of the shows that run on the Discord is to help people understand more of what's going on the platform. And I've recently created a Discord or a token, and it's called Shade. So if you want to get shady, you can get some shade. It's primarily earned at the Pimp Your Post Thursdays, but you can also spread it around yourself. And how you do that is you need to own 100 shade, and then you can go onto a post. And what I want it spread for is people who are sharing about other posts or projects, or people who are engaging. And the X there means any number up from 1 to 5. And that's what you would put on the post if you own 100. So all the communities that presented here today, the community accounts each received 100 shade while they were talking. So you're now able to use your community accounts to spread some shade around to some other people that you feel are worthy of it. And I think that's most of it, but ask me questions.
Yeah, that's really great. And I already received, I think, 2 shades. It's a token on Steam Engine.
Actually, you've received another 100 today because you've been hosting these shows.
Oh, that's great. So I'm rich now.
You're rich.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for presenting the Rumble. It was really great. And I think that's it for today. That was really awesome. If you have, I don't know, any feedback or any questions, you can ask them. And thank you very much for coming here, for staying all this time, like 1 hour and a half. And thank you for presenting your communities. Please, if you are not a part of some of those communities who are mentioned here, please join, support them, follow them at least, learn about them, and let's across our communities, let's work all together. I will say also a couple words of about D-Cooperation. So D-Cooperation, it's a community created by me exactly 1 year, 4 days ago. So it's 1 year old baby. I created it to make Steemians collaborate and together, and not only just create content from themselves, but to create content together. So we can, for example, create a content together, or write together, or make a picture together. There's like, for example, canva.com, where you can make a picture together. We can also make videos together. And that's more fun, because collaborations are really important. So the first year I was collaborating mostly with Steemians, and I interviewed more than 100 Steemians and a few D-Apps creators as well. And now it's the second year of D-Cooperation, and we want to collaborate with communities, and that's why we are running this show with other communities, with the Einar blogs, with the Rumble, with Steam Savvy, and any community can join us. So you can contact me or any leader of our Steam network. We call it our Steam network now. It's those communities who are hosting this show. So any community on Steem blockchain can host this show, and this is the idea, to host the same show in different communities, to cross them this way. So any community leader or member, or even like from a team or a member who want to his community or the community you are passionate about to host this show, just contact us, me or Shadows Pub or Freedom Point or any members of Steam Savvy, and we can host the show also in your community. So I will send the link, the Discord link as well, D-Cooperation.
If you're interested in hosting and you don't know how to record, don't worry about it. I can do that for you.
Yeah, so as you see, we have people who will host the show, we have people who will record the show, and that's great. This is the power of the community. So that's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope to see you more in our Steam show.